Hello everybody, my name is Aaron. Today I'm doing a quick little video on a particular optic that I've had for a couple years now. And I wouldn't say it's so much a review, it's more of sharing my experience. There's plenty of reviews out there that on this actual scope. You can go over the features and stuff on the website and this, that, and the other thing. They're out there, all the details and specs are out there. This is more a recounting of my experience with it. When it's worked, it's been great. The problem I've been having with this particular optic, my Thor 3 to 6 power LT by ATN, it's been, a good optic when it wants to work, and we'll get into that. This is actually the second Thor LT I've had. This is the one that they sent me as a replacement for the original one I bought, which had also been sent in for warranty work. So I've dealt with the RMA process with Thor twice, and twice I've gotten back a bad optic. This one is actually mounted up right now on my Grendel build, is not working perfectly. It has some issues, some intermittent issues that, quite frankly, for the price point, it should not have. Even I know I'm fully aware it's a bottom of the barrel, not bottom of the barrel, it's the lowest entry point for the thermal optic market. And be that as it may, it's still a 4-digit value scope. So I think you should get more for what you're paying for, in my opinion. But getting more into detail with it, I got this scope from an online retailer, the original one about 1.5 years ago. And the reason I got it was at the time I was living in Savannah, Georgia, and I was doing a lot of hog hunting down there. Since I've moved, but I still go down there frequently and hunt with it. So the main reason I got into thermal optics was for hog hunting, hunting in general. For night shooting and other uses, I have night vision helmet and stuff like that, but for hunting, I prefer to use thermal. Ultimately, though, for this scope, the first one I had worked all right for exactly one hunt. I killed a big sow with it. It worked out great. And then I went out to hunt the next time I was down in Savannah and pulled the trigger, bang, shot one off, screen was all pixelated on the scope. Okay, turned the power off, rebooted it, problem went away just fine. Didn't have any more issues for several months. Moved up to Northwest Indiana. I'm sorry, not Northwest Indiana, just Indiana in general. And we ended up going on some more hunts. I use it for taking things like beaver and raccoons and things of that nature. So I got it, was at the range one day, just verifying zero for some new ammunition I was trying out on my Grendel. Pulled the trigger, bang, screen pixelated. Second issue out of having the scope for maybe 4 months, 5 months from the original failure. Powered down, repowered up, pulled trigger, fire shot, same thing. Now I'm a little upset. Again, this is my original scope. Call up ATN, get in touch with them, and I send the scope in for RMA repair. About a month later, I get the scope back. Same serial number, same scope. Take it to the range to re-zero, verify zero on my rifle, pull the trigger, and the exact same issue. I'm shooting a 6.5 Grendel, just bear in mind, not a hard recoiling round by any stretch. H2 buffer, Springco blue buffer spring. This thing's not jumping around. Even when shooting suppressed, I would have the issue. And it wasn't every single shot on this after receiving the RMA. It was maybe every 5th, 10th shot, just depending on the day, which is still unacceptable in my mind for an actual optic like this. So get in touch with ATN once again here a couple months ago, because I'd finally gotten around to other stuff going on to get my scope fixed again. So I talked to Will at ATN Corp on their Facebook page, which the dude's got more patience than I do. He's swamped with a lot of stuff on there on the ATN Facebook, and he's dealing with thousands of requests a day, but he got to me, was great. He was very kind. He understood my issue when I talked to him. He sent me a free hat, a free scope mount. He was a cool guy, helped me out quite a bit. Got me my RMA information set up, and then I sent the scope over back to ATN. A month later rolls by, and I get a new scope in. It's not the same original scope, new serial number, and I run it for about 3 weeks now. Took it out to the range, verified zeros, no issues whatsoever at the range. Took it out, first time out beaver hunting, just wasn't really even a hunt, just scanning to see what was out there. No problems, none whatsoever. I took it out to my uncle's property, and we did some raccoon hunting out there, and we started running some problems again. This thing was not holding zero. Even with the zeroing the day before going up there, we weren't going to like an entirely different elevation or climate either. It was a pretty similar type of setup, and took some shots on some critters, and I was hitting about 3 inches high and 3 inches left. Re-verified zero the next morning before I went out again the next night. It was on, and as far as I know, it's been on since, but somewhere between the start of the hunt where it was dead on taking critters towards the end of the night, it had lost zero. This was on an ATN mount. So I ended up getting back from that hunt, and I took that ATN mount off, and I replaced it with a couple of the worn quick disconnect steel mounts, which I am a fan of. I've had no more zeroing issues since. I appreciate the free mount from ATN, but it's just not as good as other options out there. Definitely feels cheaper, and the results speak for themselves. So back to the optic, here again today. I was going through some stuff and getting some things organized, and I was like, let me take out the Grendel real quick just to make sure if I got charging the battery and stuff like that. Took it out, aimed down my sights with it, turned it on, scanned, looked at the light bulbs. It was picking up thermal like it should. I had the bolt in my Grendel locked back, and I hit the bolt release while I was looking through it. Bolt gets sent home. Just the bolt going home, mind you. I didn't fire a shot. I'm inside the house. Just sending the bolt home was enough to lock up my scope and pixelate it. Just today, but 10 minutes ago. Turned off the scope, tried the process again, locked the bolt home, looked down the scope, sent it home. Same thing. Even when I'm pulling the trigger, if I just pull the bolt back a little bit just to reset the trigger, I pull the trigger and I snap it off, the screen jumps for a second and there's lines, and then it reduplicates. The LT doesn't record footage, and it's kind of hard to do on a phone like I'm recording with here. So I'd love to show you, but take my word for it. It's again acting like it's not supposed to. So I'm not sure what my recourse is going to be. I don't know if I'm pretty sure the refund ship has sailed. I think I'm just going to stick with it and maybe use it as a spotting scope. But my ultimate message is their customer service is doing the best they can, but the product right now, in my experience with 2 scopes, has been subpar, especially for the cost of these optics. I'm not going to say the cost, but you can look it up on your own and you can see what they cost. And the performance I'm getting out of them is not even so much the performance. The performance is fine. It picks stuff out up to several hundred yards away. I'm able to identify stuff and focus in on it. And I've taken long shots with this thing. I've killed coyote, beaver, raccoon, pigs with it. It's been fine. It's just the durability aspect of it. The scope's not gotten soaking wet. I've not bashed it against trees. I've not done anything like that. You can see it. It's no gashes or anything like that. It's a fairly clean scope. And it's just not holding up. They're not holding up for me. Your mileage may vary. You may have better luck, but for me, it's been a substandard outing with this particular scope. I guess my lesson learned is I'm just gonna say you get what you pay for when it comes to thermal. I won't be buying another ATN optic. I just won't. I'm most likely going to be considering some Trigicon options. I mean, yeah, they're a lot more expensive, but, well, lesson learned. I've gotten my feet wet in the thermal field, and now I know what I want, and they have what I want. And Trigicon's durability, from what I've used with other optics and other reviews I've read, seems to be the direction I'm going to go. But that's in the future, and that is what it is. But bottom line, buy ATN thermals with caution. Get on the ATN Facebook page, their ATN owners group. You'll see what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people with all sorts of issues on there. Yeah, granted, they're the most popular thermal brand right now just by virtue of cost, and they're going to have a lot more issues just because of that. But it's still, at the end of the day, $1,000 plus scope, and you need to get a little bit more mileage out of it than a couple hunts, and then you're having internals issues. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any more detailed questions or anything like that. I just put this out because I don't see very many like end user reviews of this. I see YouTube channels and stuff that are like established, you know, probably paid reviews out there on this. And like I said, reviews are out there. You can get the gist about what the scope is, how it operates and stuff. I want to give you my perspective of how my experience with it has been. And overall, it's not been a good one. So thank you very much.